Hello everybody, it is Lovable Hatsune Miku here, and in today's video I will be doing Top 10 Best Japanese Horror Movies Part 2. Now keep in mind that this is just my personal opinion on the movies. I don't think all of them are great on this list, to be honest, because some of them I found were okay, and then some of them I found were like really good, but of course half of the people probably don't know these movies exist because I've never seen them on top 10 lists, some of the movies I put on this list. So hopefully I can introduce you to a movie that you've never seen before. I do apologize that this one's kind of rushed and it's not as good as my other one, but please understand that it is very hard to make videos during college because if you have a roommate you get no privacy whatsoever, and the only time you can probably make a video in college is if you wait for your roommate to leave, so please understand. So without any further ado, let's just get right on to the countdown. Starting off the countdown at number 10 is Nori The Curse. The film focuses on Masafuma Kobayashi, a paranormal expert who products a series of books and documentaries on a supernatural activity around Japan. He disappeared in the process of making his first disturbing documentary, The Curse. His house burnt down and his wife Kiyako was found dead in the ruins. Kobayashi investigates a woman named Junko Ishii and her son after her neighbor hears strange noises coming from her house. Kobayashi learns Ishii has moved out and finds dead pigeons surrounding her house. Ishii's neighbors and her daughter die in a mysterious car crash a week later. Kana Yono, a girl who inhabits psychic powers on a television program, disappears shortly after. So my thoughts on this movie was that it was an okay movie, not a good one to be honest. I mean, I thought it was an okay movie. I know it's higher on other top 10s list, but the problem I found in this movie was that there is a lot of talking in this movie, and I know what you're going to say, well duh, it's a movie, of course there's going to be talking in it. But literally, I mean, there is so much talking in this movie, like half of the time the characters don't even shut up. It's kind of like, you have to read a lot, so you have to like really focus on what they're saying because they might say something really important that you might miss that actually makes a lot of sense in the movie. I do like that it's a documentary movie, and I think it's actually based on a true story or something like that. I don't know, but this movie's old. I think it came out in like, I don't think it was 1997 maybe, but anyways, it's about like this guy and he like goes to other people's houses like investigating like weird stuff. Like honestly, I thought this movie was going to be like about ghosts, but it's kind of like that, but not really. Like in one scene there's the girl like I named, what was her name, Kana. She's kind of cute. Like she gets like these psychic powers, like she can tell the future almost kind of thing. They're eating at this dinner table with her family, and then she screams no because apparently like something is talking to her, even though that gets mentioned only once in the movie and it makes like no sense. And then like the dishes kind of move off the table, so that was like kind of the only kind of paranormal thing we see in the movie. And then they there's this girl, like she's an actress or something, she goes to like a haunted shrine and then she has like a panic attack or some sort of seizure, or she gets like possessed almost, and there's like this psychic guy, Hori I think his name is? Hori, I think? Yeah, I think that's his name. He's probably like the best character in the whole movie, just my opinion, because I like that he's that crazy guy that wears aluminum foil to protect himself from those like voices, and like he talks about like these worm things, and I thought he was like the most interesting character in the whole film because all the expression he makes, like if he doesn't like something he'll like scream, and he'll like, the way he talks, it's just very interesting. I don't know, I found him to be like my favorite character in the movie, even though I feel bad for him because everyone thinks he's crazy. I'm like, this guy's not crazy, he can like tell what's gonna happen, he's like knows what's gonna happen. I think that's kind of cool, but at the same time I do feel bad for him because he's always like so paranoid. He's got like aluminum foil all over his house, but he's definitely an interesting character, so I really do like him. But if you guys want to watch this movie, I do recommend it. Just I hope you like reading a lot because this movie definitely focuses on lots of talking, so definitely read the captions pretty fast and listen well too, because everything at the end of the movie does add up. You just have to watch and listen really carefully, and hopefully you guys can enjoy this movie more than I did. Starting off at number 9, we have Shin Hikiko Son. A girl named Hikiko Mori was taunted and bullied relentlessly by her classmates, eventually resulting in her accidental death. Holding a grudge against all bullies, Hikiko's spirit now haunts her former school, slowly gathering the strength to exact vengeance on the living. A group of frightened girls decides to investigate the rumors, and what they find convinces them that they have to stop the spirit of Hikiko-san before it's too late. Now, when I finished this movie, I was definitely confused because they didn't really give a reason why this girl was a ghost. Because at the beginning of the movie, it's like there's these like schoolgirls, and one of them is like, she has like this like, she's on this like website about the ghost, and she thinks it's real, like this killing happens, some boy gets killed, and she thinks it's the ghost, Hikiko-san, but her friends are like, oh, you need to stop, like, with that stuff, and one of the girls has an adorable little sister, oh my god, she's so cute, but kind of spoiler alert, she dies by the ghost, Hikiko-san, I think. And the sister and the other friends, oh my god, I swear to god. I just want to say one thing about this movie. Everyone in the movie, except for the main character, you will freaking hate. I swear to god. Let me tell you why. Like once the little girl's, like the little sister dies of the friend of her, everyone at school decides to bully her and call the girl Hikiko-san. And they're saying, oh, it's your fault her sister's dead, even though it's not her fault. It makes no sense. Like, her own friends, like, turn on her. And this one girl kind of watches her. Like, I think she wanted to help her, but I was thinking, like, okay, is she gonna, like, help her? Because, oh my god, the way they treat her in this movie is horrible. Like, I cannot stand bullying in a movie. And I feel even more bad for her because at home, her father abuses her and the freaking mother just doesn't do anything about it. She just stands there and watches. And I'm guessing maybe she's afraid, but come on. Like, if I was married and if my husband hit my own child, I would divorce them immediately, not just stand there and watch them. Like, oh my god, everyone... And the freaking dumb part is, like, the teacher doesn't even do anything about it. Like... I know I'm kind of ranting on about this movie and I should be talking about the good things about it. I mean, there are some good things about it, like the ending. I just want to say, I love Sweet Revenge. Just want to say that. Don't want to spoil it, but yeah. I thought the movie was okay. Not the best because the quality is very bad considering it's from like 2010. Like, you think it would be better quality. It kind of looks like a film like a high school student would make, honestly, to be honest. And some of the scenes are very bad, especially in the dark. Like, you can't even tell what's going on. Like, there was this one scene at the dinner table, I didn't even notice there was like a third person sitting there. I mean, I kind of had a feeling, but it was just so dark, like I could barely see the freaking girl, and I was like, oh, there's a third person at the dinner table. But yeah, you might want to watch this movie in the dark, or turn up the brightness on your computer if you have to, because there will be some scenes in the movie where you just don't know what the frick is going on, and I really don't like that, but otherwise, I think the movie is okay. Hikiko-san is kind of forgetful Japanese ghost character, I will say, but the way she walks, she has like her hand kind of like it looks like her arm got broken, and it's kind of cool. She kind of like has it up and it's kind of curled up almost. It's definitely interesting how she walks, very slow though, kind of up for forgetful Japanese ghost character, I will admit, but I think the movie was okay, and if you guys want to watch it, then please do. Starting off at number 8, we have Audition. Shigeharu Ayama, a middle-aged widower, is urged by his 17-year-old son Shigehiku to begin dating again. Ayama's friend Yoshikawa, a film producer, devises a mock casting audition at which young women audition for the part of Ayama's new wife. Ayama agrees to the plan and is immediately enchanted by Azumi Yamazaki, attracted to her apparent emotional depth. Yoshikawa develops misgivings about Azumi after he is unable to reach any of the references on her resume, such as a music producer she claimed to work with, who is missing. However, Ayama is enthralled by her that he pursues her anyway. She lives in an empty apartment containing a sack and a phone. Oh boy, where do I begin with this movie? Now, I know this movie is definitely more higher on a lot of other top 10 lists for Japanese horror movies, and I definitely kind of understand because it's definitely an interesting movie. There's barely any horror in this movie, I will say. I mean, yeah, we all know what happens to the guy if you've seen the clips from the movie, but that's not until like the end of the movie, and it's like, why? I mean, I like the kind of like the way he interacts with the girl, like the dates he like goes on with her. It's kind of sweet because he's spending so much money on her, and she's shy, and she's talking about her childhood, and she actually does have a tragic backstory, which I think no kid should ever go through. And the dance teacher or uncle or whatever the frick he was, I found that guy really creepy. And if you guys have seen the movie, you definitely know what I'm talking about, because that guy was just really freaking creepy, and what he did to her was just wrong on so many levels. Honestly, I'll never look at an old man in a wheelchair the same way again, honestly. I thought the movie was okay. I definitely like the dynamic between the father and the son, like their relationship. They have like a pretty nice, decent relationship. And there's like a beagle, like they have a pet dog, and its name is Gang. And I swear to God, that beagle is like the cutest thing ever. Oh my God, it was probably like my favorite character in the movie, to be honest. It was so adorable. But sadly, I didn't like this film as much as I thought I would, because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I thought it was an okay movie, but I don't know. It's just weird to me. I mean, a lot of people feel the same way about it too. Like, they have like mixed reviews. Like, I heard like when it was filming, like people actually walked away from this movie because of the gory part at the end. I mean, when I was watching it, I kind of just had like a straight poker face, because I don't know, somehow it didn't bother me. I was just like, okay, she's doing that to the guy who treated her like a princess. Okay. I mean, you kind of have to feel bad with her because she does have like mental health issues. And I actually like kind of thought about it more, because since that she was treated so badly, I think she thinks that, in my opinion, I think she thinks that torture is a sign of love in a way. I mean, I know that sounds weird, but that's what I kind of think. Because she doesn't know any better. Like, all her life she just got tortured and beat up. So she probably, because I think the dance teacher said, I love you or something, and I think her father also beat her up. No wait, her stepfather, I think that was it. Because she does get beat up in the movie, and she does have like a brutal childhood, so I think when she hurts someone she loves, she thinks it's her way of showing that she loves them. I really feel sorry for her, the girl, Asami, I think that's her name. But yeah, this movie I thought was actually going to be at number 1, because I actually had really high hopes for this movie, but surprisingly I was kind of let down. But at the same time, I did enjoy it, like especially the dog. It was just so cute. But that's just my opinion. Don't kill me, guys. Number 7 is Kotsubu. Eri is a female high school student who goes completely unnoticed by her classmates. In contrast, her childhood friend Mitsuko is the class leader and is constantly hit on by her creepy teacher, Chida. In order to protect her friend, Eri obtains a funeral mound to hold ashes that curse certain deaths for anyone who gets them in their mouth. I know that sounds really like short for like the plot, because this movie is definitely interesting. I've never even heard of this movie, and I think I just randomly found it, to be honest. Because, you know, I've never seen this movie on a top 10s list, and I watched the trailer and I thought, okay, I'll give this movie a shot. And to my surprising, it was actually not that bad. I mean, I freaking hate the teacher that hits on the girl. I mean, frick, I can see why she wants him dead. Mitsuko is definitely a really nice character, but the other 2 friends she has, I kind of hate them. One is just a jerk. Like, one actually has feelings for the teacher, while the other one's like, I don't know, she's kind of just there. And the girl, Eri, I think, or Eri, whatever her name was, the main character, I felt really bad for her. I actually really do like her, and the ending to the movie is actually pretty sad, I won't lie. But it's kind of like a bittersweet kind of ending at the same time. But yeah, I really didn't like the teacher. I hate it when, like, I think it's just so cringy when people have like a crush on their teacher and the teacher hits on the students and sexually harasses them. I think it's just so creepy and wrong on so many levels. But I definitely did like the story, because it's about like the girl gets like these ashes from a deceased girl. I forgot what her name was, but they actually do show the ghost of her, and it's actually kind of sad of how she died. But anyways, you have to like get the ashes, and she puts it in like this vial, and she puts it in the teacher's drink, but he doesn't drink it because the other girl gives it to another teacher that did not deserve to die, because I thought she was really sweet. Because like I said, one of the friends actually has feelings for the teacher, so she's like, I'm gonna stop him. But yeah, definitely a sad ending. A lot to explain about the ghost is, well, I guess if you drink her ashes, you'll see her and you'll freak out and you'll die. And for some reason, like, when you die, like, your arm will go missing, like your right arm. And they don't really explain why that's a thing in the movie. And they don't really tell us why there's a curse to this dead person. It's just like, it's like, okay, this person died, there's a curse to it. They don't really explain it too well, so like, you kind of have to read about it on the internet to understand. kind of about it, but the ending actually does make sense and it's sweet and sad at the same time, so definitely give this movie a watch, you guys. Number 6 is Fatal Frame. Aya, the most popular student at the Catholic all-school girl, suddenly shuts herself in her room. Her admirer, Kazumi Nohara, kisses her photo at midnight and suddenly disappears with her friend Michi as a witness. Her disappearance is quickly attributed to a support curse that affects girls who kiss the photo of the person they admire at midnight. Aya's photo is taken to the attic by Sakuya Itsuku and Risa for safekeeping, but the two alongside 3 other girls are enticed to kiss the photo, except for Risa, who is later found dazed but alive, all of them eventually found dead in a nearby river. Now, I actually saw this movie actually sometime around Halloween when I was in college, so my memory about this movie is a little off along with some of the other movies I have on this list, but you know, I actually really enjoyed this movie. I mean, I randomly found the trailer on YouTube and I was like, I actually want to watch that movie. I don't know anything about the video game. I forgot to mention it's based off of a video game and it's nothing like the video game. I don't know anything about the video game, but I know that you have to have this camera and you have to take pictures of ghosts to defeat them, and the closer you are to the ghost, I think the more damage it does to the ghost. I could be wrong, but that's just my take on it. But yeah, I watched the movie actually on Halloween day. I was watching it because my roommate went trick-or-treating, so I was like just in my room watching this movie, and I was eating noodle soup. I know, it's super cheesy, and I was watching it and I really did enjoy it. Like, there were some parts where I just had to go like question like what is gonna happen next. Like, I like it when a movie actually makes me question and makes me want to know what's actually gonna happen next. I mean, it does seem a little slow in some parts, and there's not a lot of boys in this movie except for this one dude. I think he's like a priest, I think, and there's like a gardener dude that kind of has like a problem with his foot, and there's actually a reason why he's like that at the end of the movie. But yeah, I really liked the character Aya. She's actually really pretty, I won't lie. And I like how quiet and mysterious she is. And Risa, I think she's the girl with short hair. I could be wrong. Again, I saw this movie like a while ago, so my memory is off. But yeah, I really did like the movie. I know some people kind of complained about the movie, and some liked it and some didn't like it. And honestly, I've never seen this movie on a top 10s list, and that really sucks because I really think this movie is amazing. And I think more people should definitely know about this movie, depending on if you play Japanese video games and watch the movies based on them. But yeah, my thoughts on it was that it was really good and I really liked it, and the ending is definitely a shocker. Like, honestly, just go watch this movie, it's amazing. Number 5 is Teke Teke 2. The story of Teke Teke, the ghost with no legs, continues. Conflicts arise between a group of high school classmates, and Teke Teke starts hunting them down one by one. Now, I know that was kind of short, but literally Teke Teke 2 is kind of like the first movie, so I won't get into too much detail. But I liked in this movie, they actually find a way to defeat Teke Teke, and I thought it was really smart how these two girls, I can't remember if it was her friend or her cousin, but I really liked it because the way they defeat her, I think they defeat her at the end, because I saw this like a year ago, which was like last summer. Because for some reason I was watching so many Japanese horror movies, it was definitely fun. The way that they defeat her, I'm pretty sure they do. It's really interesting, actually, and all I can say is that I had no idea that Teke Teke hated the color red. Well, I guess so, because of the blood, but honestly, don't wear red or else you're screwed if Teke Teke finds you. It's definitely a good movie. I might have to rewatch it again because I don't remember what happens, but I definitely remember the scene where they had to go to this like tube stone or something, and they have to fix or destroy it. It's definitely interesting, so definitely give this movie a watch, you guys. But watch the first one if you guys are you'll totally be confused if you don't watch the first one. Just want to say that. Number 4 is Kuchisaki Onna 2. 3 girls grow up on a chicken farm in a small town of Gifu. The oldest sister, Sachiko Sawada, is engaged and to be married. The middle sister, Yuki, works at a beauty salon, and the youngest, Mayumi, is on the track team in high school. Their happy, carefree lives are changed forever when Sachiko's ex-boyfriend, Suzuki, commits an atrocious crime with Mayumi in the tragic victim. Half crazed and bent on revenge on the Sawada family, Suzuki mistakes Mayumi for Sachiko and pours acid all over her face. Overwhelmed by the physical and trauma, Mayumi sinks deeper into depression and isolation. Now, I definitely remember seeing this movie way back last summer, and it's the second movie to the first one, the Kuchisaki, or as you guys might know it as the Slit-Mouthed Woman or Carved. This movie was surprisingly good, because usually sequels to a movie aren't really that good, but this one actually was really good. The same with Teke Teke. And the funny part is, like, the Kuchisaki Onna is not even in this movie. It's like a different new one, and I'm not going to spoil who it is at the end of the movie, because that's for you guys to know. But I definitely felt a lot of, I've definitely felt bad for the main character, because what the boyfriend did to her was just wrong on so many levels. Like, imagine having acid poured on your face, and she has to, like, wear, like, those, hospital mask things that a lot of Japanese people wear. And when she goes to school, people kind of, like, bully her, and I feel really bad, but she likes this one guy, and stuff happens, and I feel really bad for her, because it's not really her fault, to be honest. But I'm not going to spoil it, because, you know, the ending, I think it's pretty interesting. But I don't know if that's as good as the first one. I think the first one might actually be better. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, my memory on this movie is a little off. But I definitely remember the acid scene and parts of the movie. But I can't really give you my full thoughts on it. But I thought it was really good. So definitely give this movie a watch, you guys. Number 3 is Hitori Kakurenbo shi Jikikoban. At school, Shiori hears rumors about someone who had a spiritual experience while playing creepy hide and seek. That day when visiting her brother, she finds that no one is there but a web browser suspiciously opened on a creepy hide and seek bulletin board. Together with her brother's childhood friend, Shirashi, she goes out to find her missing brother. Now, this hide and seek game is actually based off on a real game. I think what you do, you have a doll and you have to have like red thread and you have to stab the doll or something like that, and you have to have water and rice involved. I don't want to talk about it because I definitely don't want any of you guys playing this game, because I don't know if it's real or not, but I just don't want you guys getting hurt, you know. But honestly, the first time I saw this movie, there's actually a few jump scares in this movie, surprisingly. But I have to kind of complain that there's just, I mean, it's kind of slow, because usually the good stuff happens at the end, kind of. But I like that it's kind of focused on a school, and if you know me, I love it when Japanese horror movies are filmed or focused on in a school, because I don't know why, it's just like, or an apartment, it just makes the movie better for some reason, and it's definitely more creepier, especially if it's in a school, because the school is so big. And there's like so many options and places where the ghost could get you, and I don't know, it's just fun to me. But yeah, I feel bad for the main character because she kind of gets wrapped up in this hide and seek game and she wants like no part of it, but the only reason she's kind of like wrapped into it because her brother's missing and she's like with her brother's best friend. And there's actually a sad reason behind the ghost. I totally forgot the ghost's name because I don't think it really has a name, to be honest. I think the ghost just becomes whatever doll you use. I could be wrong. But there actually is like a story of a girl that died in the school, and I think that's her haunting the school or something like that. It's kind of confusing. It's like kind of both things kind of collide. I don't know. I would have to like read stuff about it or hopefully find like a review on it on YouTube, because again, people don't know that this movie even exists and there are no reviews on it, so it's really hard to give like a brief explanation. And I actually rewatched this movie a couple of days ago because I wanted to rewatch it to see if I would remember stuff. But yeah, there's actually a few scenes where the character will be talking and he'll pause and then he'll like continue, and it's like, why the frick are you doing that? And I have to complain about, again, the darkness in some of the scenes. Oh my god, I hate it. Even if you watch it in the dark, you won't be able to tell what's happening, and that's kind of a complaint I have. But yeah, I definitely remember watching this movie and I liked it a lot, and it took me a while to find this movie because again, it's not that popular and a lot of people don't know about it. But I thought it was an okay movie, so definitely give this movie a watch, and please don't play the game, you guys. Number 2 is Ju-on, The Beginning of the End. Yui becomes a homeroom teacher at the elementary school. She visits the home of her student Toshio Sake, because Toshio Sake refuses to attend school. Soon Yui faces horrifying phenomenons. 14 years ago, the family that lived in the home all died. She visits Toshio Sake's house again and finds a box in the closet. The box is a gateway to the secrets of the doomed house. Now, I know I might seem a little bit unfair to put a Ju-on movie so high on the list because some of the Ju-on movies aren't that good as like the first one. Well, actually the first one is like the third or fourth movie. Surprisingly, yeah, I know, I thought it was the first one too, and if you guys know what I'm talking about, it's Ju-on the Grudge, or Ju-on in Japanese. But I really actually liked this movie, and the only reason I kind of watched this movie because there was a Japanese actress slash model I really liked, and her name is Rena Trindle. I really like her, so when I found out she was in the movie, I was like, I have to watch this movie. And the way she kind of, well, spoiler alert, she dies, of course, everyone dies in this movie. The way freaking, like, she gets killed is that she gets, like, slid across the floor, like, dragged, and it's kind of funny. I think she goes flying up in the air, too, and I kind of felt bad because I kind of laughed, but yeah, that's kind of the only reason I watched it. It definitely was interesting. Again, I watched this, like, actually, I watched it at the beginning before the first day of college, actually. So, surprisingly, this movie kind of helped me cope, like, to calm down, because I was kind of nervous of the first day of school, like, who isn't? And, of course, I was watching it by myself, because at the time, I didn't have a roommate, so any sound I heard would just scare the crap out of me. But yeah, this movie somehow helped me just calm down, and I don't know, it's kind of like a comfort movie to watch before you go to college the first day. I don't know, it's definitely an interesting movie, so definitely give it a watch. And this movie actually focuses on Toshio a little bit more, actually. So yeah, it's definitely interesting. Definitely give this movie a watch, you guys. And number 1 is Poved, the Cursed Film. As part of a show, Haruna and Mari watch a ghost video submitted by a viewer, only to experience strange occurrences that later draw the crew to Haruna's school, the location of the taken video. Oh my god, where do I begin with this video? Other than this movie is amazing, and it sucks because, again, it's really not that famous, and it's barely on top 10's list. It might be like on top 20 list because I don't know why a lot of people don't know about this movie. It's really good. It's kind of like a documentary movie, and I like that the characters are always talking and something always happens. Like, I like that it's never a dull moment, and the scenes where they get to the school, especially at nighttime, that's when stuff really goes crazy. Like, there's this one scene where they're running in the halls and it's pitch black, and they turn on the camera and it's green and it's shaky and you have no idea what's going on, and it's just like such an adrenaline rush. And that's kind of the reason why I put it at number 1, because there was just no other movie I could find that could top this movie. And I know that sounds really cheesy because some of the other movies on here you might think are better than this movie, but again, guys, this is my opinion, and I just really love this movie. And I like that it's focused on like a ghost girl and how obsessed she became like with videotaping ghosts, and it just drove her to madness, and it's just really interesting. I don't want to spoil it, and I like that there's a teacher involved. She's like, oh, I don't believe in ghosts, and then, you know, this stuff happens at the school, and she's like, holy cow, maybe this might be real. It's just very interesting. I like how all, like, the characters are just really energetic, and there's like a plot twist, kind of. It's like one of the person in the crew is actually responsible for one of the reasons. And it's just so interesting, and I just really love this movie a lot. And when I first watched it, there were actually a few scenes that actually gave me jump scares, believe it or not, because I watch Japanese horror movies a lot, and they just don't scare me. Like, maybe when I was younger, but the more Japanese or horror movies you watch, you kind of just get used to, and you're just like, meh. But yeah, I definitely love this movie, so please give this movie a watch. You can watch this movie on YouTube if you want. And that is going to be it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I do apologize if I said some of the names wrong in this video. Again, I'm not really good with some Japanese names, depending on how well I can say their names or not, so if I said their names wrong, I do apologize. And keep in mind that this is my personal opinion. I don't think these movies are the best. Like, some of them are okay and some of them are not, but this is my opinion, and I've watched most of every almost Japanese horror film there is, so some of the ones on this list I don't think are as good as the ones on my first video, so if you want to check that out, please do. But definitely watch some of these movies if you want to, or if you're looking for a new movie to watch, then please do. And until then, I will see you next time. Goodbye.